Get ready. It's time. Christina, Catherine, Lisa, Amy, Lauren, and Danny. Welcome to the Cimorelli podcast.
Hey, I'm Christina.
I'm Catherine.
I'm Lisa.
I'm Amy.
I'm Lauren.
I'm Danny.
And we're Cimorelli. Welcome back to
The Cimorelli podcast.
I
Okay.
really missed
The whole point of Lisa
Okay.
saying that.
Cimorelli podcast.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay,
Welcome back.
I like variety.
For everyone who is just joining us on this podcast, we share juicy stories, we discuss personal topics, and get vulnerable and real with you guys. And we keep it all real, entertaining, uplifting, and full of advice that has changed our lives. That's what we're doing today on the Cimorelli podcast. And we have 3 segments. We do a spicy advice Q&A. Not a Q&A. Then we do a topic of conversation for the day. And then we do Sister Spotlight, where you get one of these. Lauren's Take, Get Real with Christina, Sappy Thoughts with Kath, Amy's Current Crisis, Exposing Lisa, or Danny's Love-Hate List. So today we have Amy's Current Crisis. We are going to talk all about our mental health. That's the topic name. And obviously we're going to start with our spicy advice Q&A.
Wait, but I have an opening comment that I made a fatal mistake. I'm wearing like plasticky fake leather pants on this plasticky chair, and I can't slide around at all. So I tried to like adjust, and I have to make all
That's
this
what you get.
commotion. So if you see me scooting around and like squirming a lot, that's why I'm stuck to my chair. Okay.
Wow.
So
It's
if you
been
guys,
wild.
if you want to see the next episode, you're going to have to join us on Patreon,
Patreon.
where we post every other episode is Patreon only. So you get 2 episodes on YouTube and 4 on Patreon every single month.
Mm-hmm.
So you need to go join there because we just posted a spicy episode and you missed out. You need to go back and you need to watch it.
Yes.
All right, guys, let's start with the spicy advice Q&A.
All right, today's spicy advice question is
It's only
from
one question.
our patron. That's another thing. We collect all these questions from our Patreon, so become a patron today. This is from Rachel, our patron on Patreon. She said, what do you do if you are the one in the relationship who does all the work and he never texts you back, but
Dump him.
you really like him?
Break up with him.
I already went through this. I just wrote it yesterday.
Delete,
I wrote
block,
the story.
report. Wait, is she dating him?
It
I
sounds.
hope
She
not.
said she's in the
All right,
relationship, so
I'll
it
tell
sounds
you
like
mine.
they're dating.
But
That could be a general
Yeah,
term.
that could be a term.
Okay, here's mine for dating. I have this situation. I'm just going to make it real short, okay? I did like everything. He did basically nothing. I dumped him. Moved on.
That's it.
That's
Okay.
what I did.
I have one really
It was really hard. Wait, I liked him a lot. He was my first love, okay? First guy I said I love you to, okay?
Oof.
I really liked him. Dumped him because it was trash, okay? That's not a relationship. That's just you giving and them taking. Don't like it, so that's what I say.
Okay, I have a quick question. Why do you want to talk to or spend time with anyone who doesn't want to talk to you or spend time
Yeah.
with you?
Because when you talk to them, they're nice and charming.
No, but really
They
think
are.
about it. If someone's
That's
not putting
why.
in any effort ever and they're not like asking for your time, why do you want to be like that? Imagine someone doing that to you where you're like, oh gosh, they always ask me to hang out, but I don't really care and I don't ask them to hang out. Like you feel weird. You don't want to be that person, do you?
Oh.
Also, one thing from me, sorry, Amy. Think about what you do want. Think about the idea of having a person in your life who talks to you every day. Someone who gets you things that you want, or someone who takes you out to dinner, or someone who, I don't know,
Texts you
the things
back.
that people do. Someone who
Texts you
freaking texts you
Oh,
back.
wait, this changed my life though when I made this
Think
list.
about
I was like,
it.
I want someone with a home address because I dated someone who didn't have an address. Someone who drives
I
their
did
own
the same
car.
thing.
Yeah.
Someone who wants to hang out
Wait,
with
were
me.
they
and takes me on
homeless?
dates. Yes.
Kind of, yeah.
She's a
What do you
couch surfer.
think?
Wow.
Couch surfing.
last
Listen,
episode.
imagine those things that you want so bad, and then think that could happen. That could be a real person. That is a real person out in the world. That's actually a lot of people out in the world. So then you put that in comparison. You say, okay, I have this thing right now, which is making me really sad all the time, and I could have this other thing that I really, really want really bad. So
Make
which
the
is better?
decision.
Which is better?
Also, I'm just going to keep this pretty quick. It takes 2 to tango, as they say. The proverbial
Nay.
thing is that you may be caught in a cycle of over and under functioning because it's comfortable for you to be in control and over functioning all the time. For this boy, you're the one putting in all the work, doing everything, and they're just flopping around because you want to be in control. I'm
So maybe
sorry.
you like it.
You might
That's
need,
what she's saying.
Yes, you might like it
Ooh.
in the depths of your
Ooh.
soul. So you're gonna have to get a little
You tricked
shovel,
yourself.
dig around in the
Oh,
depths of your
quick.
soul, and then say, if I like this, I don't have to like this.
Is this
I
a
can
good thing
like
to like?
a constructive relationship instead of a destructive relationship.
Okay. You have two choices. One, waste 100 years of your life.
100 years.
Well, that's how long it could be. Like, you either have to decide to waste your time on someone who doesn't care, or stop making contact. There's only two things you can do. Waste time or stop.
Wait. Oh, hold on. I have one last thing to say. If you have a problem, like, and if you're not ready or not, and whatever, to do that not making contact thing.
No, you're making the
no,
other
no,
choice.
No, let me tell you. Then you
you're
should
doing.
say something, because this will show you someone's true colors real quick. If you say, like, hey, how come you never text me back?
They
Or,
don't want to
hey,
talk to you.
blah, 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 blah. No, but listen, I'm just saying, not to, like, get them to change or whatever, because
Just
they probably
ask
won't.
them.
I'm saying if you ask, they probably, A, won't respond to something which is very important to you, or B, say something really weird or really rude or something that makes you uncomfortable. And that is the
Or
time
lie.
it'll kind of
Or
set
say
you
some
up.
charming lie.
No, but not even
Or
that.
they'll
Some
make an
people will.
excuse.
Can.
They'll be like,
Okay.
oh, I was
Also-
busy.
So that's what I'm saying though. Like, ask or something. Be honest. Be like, hey, I really feel like I'm missing this.
Before
Or,
you
hey,
ditch.
whatever.
Oh.
And then they'll give you probably a good reason to go.
Also,
Actions
I
speak
just have
louder than words.
I have a very
one,
good
They already
quick,
told
one
you.
quick thing. Going off of Lauren's theme of making the decision and wasting time or not, I'm assuming that you're young, and every second that you spend when you're young has compounding interest. Means that it means a lot more when later in life, the hours that you spend developing yourself. So if you're spending your time flopping around with a dead fish,
Waste.
it's not developing you
losing
for
it.
later in life. You're
All right.
losing your investment. You're not getting good ROI, lady.
Okay, I have a quick
That
story.
means
Don't
only
know
no
what
one
we're
knows
talking
about
I
that.
have a
One
story of this
investment.
experience where
Using
my
a lot of
brother made the decision for me, and I was like, Michael, blank has not talked to me in 5 days. Like, I'm like waiting around for him. I don't know what to do. Should I like reach out or just wait for him? Like, I couldn't decide, and I was really torn because I really like this guy. And he was like, he's like, I think you could play this game as long as you want, but it's going to end.
Ooh,
It's not. And I was like,
frying pan.
oh my gosh. I was
Yeah,
like,
where's
"Oh."
the frying pan?
And then, it's right here. I literally walked away.
Hold it up.
Michael had the frying pan.
Michael hit you with the frying
He was
pan.
to me. Okay, I walked away and texted him and said, it's over. After he
Good.
said that,
It's
I made up my
over.
mind so fast. I was like, stop. Okay, I'm done. And then I cut off all my hair.
Then you told Michael.
He was like, what? I didn't mean for you to break up. And I was like, that's what you said. He
you
was so
get.
shocked.
Wow. Okay, so I want to tell a story because I feel like stories are always a fun way of answering advice. So I had quite the contrast in the year of 2017. The beginning of the year, I dated a boy. Bless his heart. Nothing against him, but let's just say he was not prepared for a relationship, and I desperately wanted him to be. So although he did talk to me every day, that was pretty much the only effort that he made. And like he didn't really make an effort to see me, didn't even want to see me on Valentine's Day. It finally came down to my birthday when he told me that he couldn't hang out with me because he was going to get wings with his cousin, which they did every week on Wednesday because they had a deal on wings.
Wow.
So I just wanted to share that to say that it feels horrible to feel like you are literally the piece of trash at the bottom of the dumpster.
Yes.
That person can't even take the moment to dig out of the trash can. So you don't deserve to feel like that. And until you're in a different situation, like sometimes you just have to experience that to realize
Yeah.
I don't like how this feels. And I'd rather just be alone and wait for someone that does recognize my value. And then towards the end of the year, and I'm sharing that as a hopeful
Yeah, I was gonna
note,
say.
then I met my boyfriend, Max, and he was so consistent and clear about pursuing me. I never questioned anything. Like, he texted me within a few hours of the first date, said that he really enjoyed his time and he wanted to see me again. Every single date, he would make another date to see me. I never had to wonder, is he going to talk to me? Like I did with pretty much almost every boy. There was a few that I didn't, but almost every boy I dated, I was always like wondering, are they going to talk to me? And I feel like if I didn't like keep breathing life into the relationship, it was on its last leg. So I just wanted to affirm you
Yeah.
that you deserve to be with someone, that you don't have to question where you stand
And they exist.
because they make it clear. So
Those people exist.
and it's not going to change. If it's bad in the beginning, I don't think it's going to change. Sorry. It usually doesn't.
All right, Rachel, good luck. Good luck.
Good luck.
Good luck.
I mean that for real, though. Good luck.
Good luck, Chuck.
On to the topic of conversation
Woo!
for the day. all about mental health.
Yay! I'm so
So
excited.
here's what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about self-care, routine, coping skills, asking for support, stuff like that. And we're just going to go into like our experiences and like how we keep ourselves mentally healthy as far as we have gotten in our lives. You know, some of us are pretty young, so we're just, you know, it's where we've gotten thus far, okay?
Yeah.
We're not professionals, we're not
Experts.
doctors, we're not 60 years old,
We're not licensed to give
lawyers.
medical advice.
So do not think that we're licensed to give
Yes.
medical
We're just
advice.
sharing personal experience.
Yes.
All right. So here's what we're going to talk about first. My fave thing. We're going to talk about our lists of self-care exercises that we do. And I'm going to intro it by saying, I heard this thing recently that was awesome. And it's self-care is supposed to be like a vitamin, a daily vitamin, not like an antibiotic. Let me explain. Daily vitamin. You take it every day because you're
Regardless.
not sick,
Yes.
right? You're not just like, oh, I'm sick, gotta take my daily vitamin.
You're
It's like,
trying
no.
to stay well.
I take it every day to stay well. Antibiotics is something that you get when it's like, oh, I have to take this now. The doctor just gave it to me. I'm sick, whatever. Right? So we look at self-care like, oh, I don't need to do it. I feel fine. Oh, now I feel like I'm falling into the depths of insanity. Now I need to do some self-care. No. You need to do it every day like a
To
daily
prevent you
vitamin.
from falling
Got
into
it?
the depths of
daily
Insanity.
vitamin.
Insanity.
Okay? And then here's the other thing. There are physical and mental self-care things to do. So think about which ones each of yours are. It's very, very, very important. And let me explain why. You, in my opinion, like I said, not a professional. This is just my opinion. I'm a professional stress person, okay? This is my opinion. You need to do a physical thing first and then a mental thing because you need to calm your body down physically. I've been studying a lot about stress and your body's response lately. You need to calm yourself down physically first, then you can work through things mentally. And when you do a combination of physical first, then mental, that is for me how I am able to actually de-stress. So we're going to go through each of our self-care stuff. We're each going to say a couple things and talk about which one's mental and which one is physical.
Okay. The only main mental one I could think of was kind of all in one category of journaling, where I'm writing down what I'm feeling and processing it, or I check in with myself constantly, like multiple times a day. I like to drive with no music on a regular basis and just be like, what am I feeling? What am I thinking about? Walking with no music, or, you know, sitting in my room, just checking in.
And you do
That's
that a
very
lot.
important. I do that a lot. It's very, very important. Physically, I like to do face masks. I do a bath bomb. I put my Netflix on my laptop, watch a movie or something, scrub really thoroughly. I like to paint my nails. It's very relaxing for me. And one of my last like favorite thing is actually when I go and get a haircut and my barber is really friendly and warm and we have great chats. It's I come out feeling so refreshed with fresh
Makes
hair and a
sense.
fresh mind. So
Yeah.
that's my favorite.
Dan?
I'll start my first one kind of going off Lisa's because mine is also have a good convo. So like I will talk to a friend. I have my best friend Lucy lives in California, so I just kind of text her and we just talk about life or whatever, or like one of my friends, just talk to them, talk to one of my siblings, talk to my mom, whatever. Have a good convo. That is something that really keeps me good throughout the week, especially being an extrovert who needs lots of social interaction. Okay, big one, cleaning my room. I don't clean my room every day, but I've gotten into
have
the
this on mine.
habit of like putting stuff away every day or like working towards like cleaning it every day. That makes me so much happier. A decluttered room is just a decluttered mind and a better life.
So true.
Okay, go outside. That is a huge one. I think all of mine are physical almost. Go outside. I love to go outside, walking around, skateboarding, biking, walking a dog, laying in the grass, having a picnic, whatever. Literally any sort of form of going out into the sun, especially, makes me feel so much better and just good on the
Amazing.
daily. Or I have a little balcony outside my room, so I'll just go outside and just stand there for like 10 minutes and just soak in the sun, and it's great. Okay, also kind of like Lisa's, some kind of like grooming thing. So doing my nails, doing my eyebrows, like taking a really long shower, just like things that feel like you're taking care of yourself. And then the last one that I have is doing something that I've been putting off because that's, you know, I'm a procrastinator. It's really bad. And usually that causes a lot of stress in my life. So kind of if I have time, I like at the end of the day, which is when you do this, or I do this usually, is I say, okay, what's something that I really need to do that I haven't done? Let me do that so that I can alleviate the stress off of me and I can feel better. Because if you keep putting something off, even if it's something simple like doing your laundry, like do your laundry so then you don't have it in the back of your mind.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Laura?
All right. This is kind of more of like a coping thing than necessarily like a daily thing. But you know when like you're really upset, but in kind of like a general way, you don't really know why. So you just want to like watch TV or like do
Yes.
something or like eat a cake or
Zone
something,
out.
ice cream or
Yes.
something. So instead of doing like a negative kind of like distracting kind of comforting thing, then I found a different way to like comfort yourself in those moments is to just take a shower where you don't even actually like take a shower. You just kind of like be in the water. I guess you could do a bath, but
Oh.
I don't have a bath. So just like having the warm water on you is really comforting. And then journaling after that when you feel more in a good, like comforted mental space, because sometimes you don't really want to journal when you're just feeling like, I just want to watch TV. So you need to be comforted first. Another thing is having like God time every day where you specifically just sit in silence and be with God. For me, that like clears me mentally, because I think that like taking care of your spiritual self is taking care of yourself. And I think that's one of the top parts of it actually for me. And then another thing is writing a positive note in your phone to remind yourself of the good things in your life and the things to look forward
Love
to,
that.
so that when you are in a bad mental place, then you can look at that and like be reminded of what your life actually is instead of all these bad thoughts you've been thinking.
Oh, sorry. I forgot one more that I wanted to say because I did it the other day and it was amazing. I want to start doing it. Sorry. Yesterday or a couple days ago, my boyfriend was having a really bad day. So I made him go outside with me at night and like the stars roll out. And then both of us, we yelled at the top of our lungs and we were like, things are gonna get better. And it was like this kind of like an affirmation, but it's like going outside. So changing your physical, location, I guess, not laying in your bed in like a death spiral, getting out of that, going outside, and then saying something really positive. That's something really good to do.
That's cool.
All right, my two physical ones are number one, chamomile tea. Oh my gosh, drinking chamomile tea is a lifesaver. You might just be like, oh, it's too simple to be that incredible. No. I'm telling you, 9 times out of 10 when I drink it and I'm like, it is so physically calming that I can't even tell you how great it is, okay? Chamomile tea, amazing. And then going on walks, I've been doing this since I was like a teenager. I've been like religiously going on walks, and it's just one of the best things ever to calm me down. It changes my physical and my mental state. It's both. It changes it so drastically. So walks, you might just think, oh, just a walk. It's not just a walk. It's like, it's life-changing, I'm telling you. And then for my mental things, which I would do after physical, guided meditations. So you can find a guided meditation for like anything on YouTube. I was talking to a new mother who was really stressed yesterday, and I was like, oh my gosh, search YouTube. Guided meditation for mothers or for new mothers. There was so many. They're for everything. So doing a guided meditation on an app or on YouTube, so good. And then I do a 10-minute clear my mind timer where I set my timer on my phone for 10 minutes, and then I turn on a relaxing song. Like if you search like study music or like bedtime music, you find like these like you find like these really calming like instrumentals, and you play it. You set your timer for 10 minutes, and then you don't allow yourself to do anything except for just sit there and just kind of think, I'm feeling a bit stressed about this. I'm noticing a clenching in my chest. I'm noticing I have a headache. Oh, I'm worried about that thing I have to do tomorrow. You literally just like sit there and just think for 10 minutes only with your timer. So it's like, I can't go on my phone. I can't do social media. I can't do anything. I just have to sit here and do my 10-minute clear my mind timer. So those we all have long lists, but we're each telling you several that will like add up to a long list. So those are 4 of my faves.
Okay, I have 3 things to share, and they kind of shared already some things I like to do. So I'll kind of do my own twist on it, I guess. Number 1 is a journaling technique that I think is really important. I actually read a whole book on writing as a way of healing, which is a book by Louise DeSalvo. It's a great book. You should read it. She says that in order to process things and write in a way that helps you heal, you have to write what happened and how you are feeling.
Ooh.
You have to write both. If
Ooh.
one is missing, it won't be an effective exercise. So keep that in mind when you're journaling. I always write down, like the other night, my car got broken into, which was very traumatic for me. And the man was in the car when I got there, which was very scary. And so I just sat down and I just wrote down the entire experience. I stopped at every single point and I wrote what I was feeling, and it was 10 pages long. And at the end, I felt so much better. And apparently doing it multiple days in a row is also helpful. And then number 2, another thing that comes to mind is a lot of times I'm very sensorily overwhelmed, and that's why I feel very stressed. So what I'll do, I do this all the time when I'm feeling really bad, is I come into my room and I turn off all the lights. So it's like I'll only turn on like the bathroom light, and then I'll take a really long shower because I want to feel clean. So my body needs to feel clean, put lotion on so it also feels soft. Then I put on really soft clothes. And then I put on my diffuser, which is like an essential oil thing where it like spits out water and then essential oils mixed in. Lavender is the best. Lavender essential oil, best smell ever, so relaxing.
Yes.
And then I light candles, and then I put on relaxing music, and then usually I go into the journaling exercise. And then this is what I do. I mean, I do this all the time and I love it. But when I think about when I'm in my most horribly, because I can have really bad anxiety attacks sometimes, the worst pit of bad mental health is I turn off all the lights in my room, I light a bunch of prayer candles, and I sit and I pray. And I ask God, I just like cry, and I ask God to take the burden off of my shoulders and fix it. And especially if I put on Gregorian chant music.
Yes,
It's so like you just feel so in touch with the
Peaceful.
divine realm. And that is like the biggest, like the high level help with
Love that.
stress. So yeah, those are my 3.
Okay, so I don't. This is making me realize I really don't take care of myself at all. And so I know there's things that I definitely do the antibiotic thing. Like I don't do it unless I'm literally gonna get sick or I feel like I'm
Yeah.
going to go insane. So I need to start
Yeah.
doing this more, and I've been implementing some of it. But things I love are journaling, obviously, coloring. Coloring is so good because you can't think about anything else. It's just like it's artistic, it's fun, it's really easy to do.
Relaxing.
And you feel accomplished at the end. Going for a drive, but not when you're crying because that is dangerous. And then another thing is going somewhere with a view or getting outside so you see the whole sky.
yeah.
It makes you feel so much smaller and it puts you in context with the world.
Yeah.
And
So
I
true.
think, yeah. Oh, and one more thing I do is I do a 5-step facial I found on the internet one day. Basically, you wash your face, you exfoliate your face, you do you steam your face or you put hot water on a
Yes.
rag and you put it on your face a bunch.
Put your
Then you do a mask
face in a bowl of water.
and then you put on moisturizer.
Wow.
I love that.
I only do it every once in a while, but I want to do it more because it's so relaxing.
That sounds really
Love
nice.
that.
I want to do that.
Okay,
Love
so
that.
let's do a lightning round. We're just going to go around and we're just going to mention it really quick of unhealthy things that you do to cope. So
Oh,
it's like
gosh.
you're stressed or something is going
Easy.
wrong.
Got him.
So you do something to not cope with it. You're like, I don't want to work on the problem. I'm just going to run away, basically. All right, ready?
Okay.
You got to say 1 or 2.
Just say
Go.
1 or 2.
Mine is either mindlessly scrolling around Instagram, which I don't even like doing, or putting on The Office, which I've already watched, so I really zone out, and avoiding my life.
Eating something that's very pleasurable or watching any TV or movie.
Yeah, watching TV or thinking about a boy who probably doesn't like me.
Oh,
Oh, definitely like eating something really sugary, which sugar has the worst effect on me ever. But I'm like, oh, sugar, yay. And then watching, just like not getting off of the internet, like not getting off of it, staying on it till the last second.
I always know when I'm in a bad spiral when I randomly start looking up old people that I haven't seen in years on like Facebook. I'm like, oh, I wonder what happened to him. Wonder what happened to her. And celebrities. That's when you know you're in a spiral. I'm like just trying to distract myself from my own problems and eating comfort foods. That's a big thing.
Yeah, same thing. Comfort eating and TV, but like literally 3 hours of TV.
So these are things that tell us like we're in a spiral, we're stressed, or something's going wrong.
Something's
and
wrong.
like I said, we ain't professionals telling you our personal
Experience.
experiences. But sometimes it's like something is really bad and you can't deal with it in that moment. So you're going to distract yourself in that moment, but you're going to deal with it later.
Yeah.
I think when these become a problem is when you won't stop doing them. Like you
Yeah.
will not
It's a
stop.
lifestyle.
It's your entire lifestyle. You won't stop doing them to actually go, wait a minute. I have a real problem. For instance, this is a big one. Emotions being like road signs. They're telling you something to do. Like you see a stop sign, it tells you stop. You see a yield sign. Oh, I gotta yield. I gotta be cautious here and pay attention, right? You see these different things, they tell you something, a green light, a red light. Emotions are the same thing. So it's like if you're feeling like angry all the time, but you're like, I'm not angry, distract, right? And it kept building up. You're angry for a reason. So maybe there's someone in your life who's constantly mistreating you and you don't want to acknowledge it. So you will not stop distracting yourself. But what you need to do is go, oh my gosh, I'm mad because this person's mistreating me every day. I have to go stand up for myself, for instance. So all these things we mentioned are kind of telling us something's happening that's negative, right? And that was, we were talking about, I wrote down, we want to say like signs that you're about to spiral. I think those were the signs, right?
Those are the signs, pretty much. Or
So
spiraling.
what the self-care stuff we mentioned is like the healthy coping mechanism as far as stress relief goes. But then once you've relieved your stress, you've figured out what the problem is and why you're so upset and what's the next situation, what's the next step. You have to do something.
What's like working
Yeah.
You
through
have to
it?
take an action.
If it's something that it's too, honestly, the biggest thing is to get professional help. If it's something that you can't
That's
deal
a
with
really
on your
Number
own.
one,
thing.
yes.
Yeah.
That's a huge
Oh wait,
thing.
actually, let me make this easier. It's either you're stressing about something you can't control or you can control. If you can control it, the first step,
And
if
you
it's
can work
like,
through it.
I need to go get professional help, you need to go to therapy,
And
whatever
let me
it is.
say, quick thing, you might think, oh, therapy's for rich people or whatever, but it's not. It's for everyone, and there's a lot of places who will do it for free or for like $20 a
apps,
session.
there's
They do like sliding scales
Hotlines.
based on your income,
So
so
look
don't
into
think
it.
that that's a limit.
Yeah, and a lot of healthcare plans do cover therapy. I don't know of to the extent, but yeah.
Yeah. Also, you have to keep in mind that not the first therapist that you try might not be the right one.
Yes.
I've heard a lot of people say like, I tried therapy, it didn't work, but it might have just not been the right fit for you.
Yeah.
So if you didn't really like it, try someone else, and if you didn't like them, try someone else.
Keep
Just
trying.
keep going.
I thought of another one, which is like reading books about it. So if it's like trauma,
Study, learn.
or like I don't know what it is, anything. There's books on everything. Those like self-help kind of books, and you might be like, oh, I don't want to read a self-help book. I don't know why. But
Okay.
some people don't like those. But
Make an
they're
action
great.
plan. You're
Yeah.
stressed about things. What do you need? You just figured out what the problem is. Make an action
Yeah.
plan. Maybe in the action plan is like go to therapy, or maybe it's not that kind of problem. Make an action plan. I'm here. I want to be here.
Yeah.
What do I need to do to get
Work
there? If you
backwards.
can't figure it out, get someone who's good at that kind of stuff to help you.
Yeah.
A friend, a parent, a mentor, whatever.
Yeah.
Or just someone you know who's doing the thing that you wish you were
Yes.
doing. Like, how would you get from my place to where you
Yes.
are?
Yeah, I want to kind of go back to something Lauren said earlier that I think is really cool, and maybe it's a different problem. We're kind of talking maybe more about like stress and overwhelm and stuff like that, but this may be more of just generally feeling unhappy and down about life. This is a simple, like maybe not the end all be all, but a thing you can do that's pretty easy is plan things to look forward to and plan a life that you can look forward to. And a really easy way to do this is something I post about on Instagram that I like to do at the beginning of every month, or if it's the middle of the month, you can start right now for the rest of the month, whatever. Think of something that you want to work on about yourself or change and put your energy towards
That's
that.
something you've always wanted to do.
Yeah, like maybe you want to learn how to cook. Maybe you want to work out more.
Learn how to
Maybe you
skateboard,
want to
take
reach out to
pictures.
someone that you were afraid to reach out to.
Yeah.
Set small goals for yourself. And that way, when you wake up in the morning, instead of being like, oh, like, you know, feel like, what is my purpose in life? What am I even doing? That can be a really big, heavy question on your shoulders. But if you have small things you're working towards,
Yeah.
that, and I'm not saying that's the end all be all, but that is a helpful way to like get some positive energy going in your life.
A different thing, which is completely different, no one said this, is serving other people, helping other people,
Yes.
getting out of your own head. If I went to my dad about something that was like really, really upsetting, then he would tell me, Danny, you cannot be thinking so much about your own problems. Yes, you need to work through them. Yes, you need to be healthy and process your emotions. But
You
at a
can get
certain
like
point,
stuck in your head.
you can get stuck in it, and you can just be like, oh, this problem, this thing, So if you feel stuck, you can go to an animal shelter. You can go
Ooh.
to a community like dinner thing. What's it called?
Yeah,
Community
like-
kitchen,
yeah,
where they like feed the homeless, or
A food
so
bank,
many things.
yeah.
There's different things in every part of the world, in every area. Find the thing that it is, or if it's not one of those things, it could even be your friend's little sister who maybe needs help with something. Go talk to her. Have a good conversation.
idea.
Your sister's really sad. Go to her. Sorry, I didn't mean to point at you. But like your sister's really sad. Go to her house. Talk to her. Try to make her feel better. Get outside of yourself and help someone else, and it will make you feel better in a certain way.
Also, like, life wasn't meant to be just about us, just
Yeah.
about one person. It's
Yeah.
meant to be lived in community and to be
Yes.
lived with love. And volunteering is physically acting out love.
So what if you are scared to ask for support? That's the last topic we're going to talk about. And I want to say a note about mental health before we go into the support as we end this topic. We're not saying, I want to make it clear, like, if you have like a mental illness or you think you might, you need to go get help.
Yeah.
We're not saying, oh, if
Just
you
volunteer.
are depressed and
Just
you
take a bath.
and you take a
Yeah.
bath, you're cured. That's not what we're
No,
saying.
yeah,
We're
no.
saying keep up with your mental health. And
Yeah.
if you're like taking care of yourself and you're like, things aren't getting better, like I'm still feeling like I don't know how to do this on my own, like you need to get help. But we're saying these are baseline things you need to do.
Either way.
But we're not saying
These are more like
a
day to
bath
day.
will cure your
depression.
depression.
It will
Yeah.
not.
Just be clear. I don't want to see any comments.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, I took a bath, I'm cured. That's not what we're saying.
Yeah.
So don't even
and there's
twist
a
it
difference
that way.
between dealing with mental illness and then just general
Yeah.
day-to-day
Mental
health.
For your mental health.
It's like your physical
just
health.
self-care.
It's maintenance.
Yes,
Yeah.
I wanted to make sure that didn't get twisted
Yeah.
because I
That's
can
good.
already see people
That's
being like,
good.
Yeah.
whatever. Okay, so
Yeah.
what if you're scared to ask for support? Which one of you would like to tell?
I've never been scared.
How to ask for support if you don't know how?
I'm
Oh,
bad at
I
that.
can.
Yeah.
Go ahead. I'm really bad at asking for help. Well, I have been my whole life, but I realized that it's never going to go from really scary and hard to just suddenly easy. Like, it's going to be hard the first times you do it, but every time you do it, it gets a little easier.
Ooh.
And also, there's so many different people that you could reach out to, so many different ways
True.
you can word what you say, so
Mm.
many different, like, ways you can talk about it. So there's not just, you don't have to like call up someone who you don't really know that well and be like, here's my deepest, darkest secrets. Like, you could, there's so many different people, and you just be like, hey, I am feeling kind of sad right now. Can I talk to you about it?
That's a great opening line. And they can
Yeah.
say, they can say, yes, I have the space for that right now, or I'm available for that, or they can say, not right now, maybe another time.
And you could ask someone else also if the first one doesn't
Yeah.
work out. Like, don't think that there's no one to talk to.
And if you're feeling really desperate, we always know that there's suicide hotlines.
Mm.
So
Yes.
do not
Great
forget
place
that
to
and
go.
think that there's always literally that is
Yeah.
you at
And
least have them.
there's
to
not
call.
just suicide hotlines. There's other hotlines too.
There-
There's
for like
many hotlines.
There's
everything.
many hotlines.
That's
yeah.
true.
And also, there's like, if you're in school, there's school resources for that too. Like, school counseling, like
Yeah.
they can give you resources. There's
Mhm.
probably support groups at your school or
Mhm.
your
Or
community.
at your church or something.
So if
Yeah.
if you're scared, like I don't want to admit like I have a problem, like I mean you just gotta think like, do I want to live the rest of my life like this, or do I
Mm.
want to go reach out for help? So talk to someone
And-
you know, or talk to a professional, or talk to someone who you know who can help you get to a professional. Maybe someone who's been through something similar, or just if it's your parents, just I feel like I might be depressed, or I might have whatever you think. I really want to talk to someone about it. If they are like just dismissive, then maybe you can talk to a
Someone
different
else.
trusted adult. I don't
give
really
up.
know, but
And
just
I'm
yeah, don't give up.
debunking it right now. You're not the only one. You're not alone. You're not the only person on earth who's ever felt the way you're feeling. I guarantee there's someone who's going to understand what you're going through. So don't be like, oh, I'm too scared to reach out because no one will understand me, or no one will get it, or I'm the only one that's like this. That's not true. So just get that out of your head right now. You're not the only one. And that's not in like a, oh, you're not the only one way. That's in like a, you are not alone way. So don't be scared.
So if anyone else has anything to add, write it in the comments. If you're like, oh, I know this
Yeah.
resource, or
Yeah.
this is how I asked for help. If you have a story of how
Mm.
you got support, or you have a great resource that you want to offer, definitely put it in the comments,
that.
because I guarantee you a bunch of these
Love that.
people are going to be in the comments looking for that.
Yeah.
So please, if you have that, share it.
Yeah,
Thank you guys.
And I want to say one last thing, that I feel like a lot of people are afraid to reach out because they had a bad experience. Like they
Mhm.
tried to reach out and they reached out to someone that wasn't really safe, or someone that made them feel dismissed or put down or shut down. So if you had that experience, I'm really sorry, because I know that's really painful, but just know that not everyone is like that. So
Yeah.
if you're in your mind thinking no one will understand because I tried to reach out and this person was horrible, maybe that just wasn't the right person. Please just build up your courage and try again. There's going to be someone who's going to understand and who will listen to you. I promise. Just keep
Yeah.
trying.
And I want to say something about reaching out to people is that if you're a very like closed off person, then maybe it's not realistic for you to think that you could just suddenly tell someone your deepest problems. So maybe try and start
A little at a
small, right?
time.
By being like, I'm stressed about this test that's coming up. Like something
Yeah.
simple that's still a feeling, and then just start like inching more and more
Yeah.
with people
Mhm.
because that can be a little less daunting.
And it's a good way to gauge whether you can trust them.
yeah.
All right. So that's what we got on there. But we
Yeah.
have so much more we could say on that.
yeah.
But
Such a good topic.
that's all we got for today. Once again, leave your comments. Now we're on to our last segment, Sister Spotlight, where we do Lauren's Take, Get Real with Christina, Sappy Thoughts with Kath, Amy's Current Crisis, Exposing Lisa, and Diddy's Love Hate List. Who's the Sister Spotlight of the week? Ding! Amy.
Hi.
This is Amy's Current
I-
Crisis and the story of...
Me getting a new car.
I love
So-
Amy. I
Oh,
just want to
what
say
the
that.
heck?
Wow, I got some Amy
Guys, I'm
stands.
getting really.
This is one of my favorite
flustered.
segments.
So first of all, my first clue that my car was not good for me was when the day I got it, I called Christina's husband and I was like, Nick, I think I made a terrible mistake. It's like, you can always trade it back in. I was like, no, I don't think I should do that. I should have. But not to say that I don't appreciate and release my car into the universe. Like, I
What?
appreciate what it did for me. I'm just like,
Okay.
you know,
What
I'm
did
trying
it
to have
do?
good karma.
Yeah, what did it do?
It drove me,
Karma.
it got me places.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It was
that's
good. I have a lot of good memories with that car. So basically, I had a car. It was a small car, it was a sedan, whatever.
Yeah.
And I couldn't see out of it very well, which is a fact that I didn't know until once again, Christina's husband told me, your car has a million blind spots. I was like, it does?
Yeah.
I couldn't see very well. So I kept hitting things. Like,
other cars.
yes. Like I lane changed into a lady once.
She
I think I
lane
said that,
changed into someone.
which is like the lowest of the low.
Aw,
Lane
wait,
changing
that
into
could
someone.
happen.
No, it's
never
really,
done it.
really.
Sometimes people don't put their
sad.
signal on.
No,
like,
Kat,
"Could
I lane
happen."
changed into her.
Yeah, maybe
Cat.
you didn't see her.
That's
yes,
the
but I
point.
should have seen her. My car even had
Okay.
a thing that's like a light that tells you when someone's in your blind spot.
Oh.
I just didn't see for some reason. Oh, because I was stressed because I was gonna have accident. I was in a freeway exit lane and I was like, I need to get out. Anyway, so don't drive stressed, ladies and gents. Anyway, so I kept hitting things, but then I got to this place in December, and this was so weird. I was like, you know what? I just need to love and respect my car. Like, it's done great things to me. I'm like, wow, I really like my car. And in October, I was saying my goal is to get whatever car I really need by my 24th birthday. Like, whatever is my car that makes me feel great about myself and one that's really great. It could be my car. It could be a different car. Anyway, so then in December, I'm like, I'm just going to respect it, honor it, blah, blah, blah. I was literally talking to my best friend, JC, and her boyfriend at church. I was walking upstairs to the parking garage. I promptly proceeded to back into somebody after that. I'm literally like, yeah, JC, I just need to respect in my car and pay attention more. I back into somebody.
That's good, Amy.
And it was this
Oh
family
my
at my church with like 6 kids that I was going to babysit for, but I didn't.
Not
Not
anymore.
anymore.
No, they still love me. The mom
Yeah.
loves our stuff. She's like, I was looking at your stuff. It was
Okay.
so good.
So, hey.
So,
Hi.
So anyway, so I back into this car, and I was so upset because I was like, oh my gosh, I just got like this thing. I just almost was at 3 years with no accident, which means that it gets off your record. Now I have one. Oh my gosh, I was so mad, and I felt so bad. So it became this whole conflict because this family. I was like, I'll just pay for everything. Like, I don't want to put it on my insurance or whatever. Because it wasn't a big accident. It was like a fender bender small thing. And it was like not good. And I got into an accident because I was looking in the rearview mirror and then I got distracted by my lip color.
Why, my
Yes.
God, Amy?
And I was like really stressed that day and my mind was everywhere.
Oh,
Okay.
So anyway, don't get distracted by your lip color, people, either. So then, so I backed into it, and then I was like, take it wherever you want, I'll fix it, whatever. But I have this shop that I would like you to go to. They took it to the dealership, which is the most expensive place to fix anything, but they wanted to be secure, and I understand that because I'm that kind of person too. But I was still really mad.
Mhm.
But you know, so then.
Amy's like, I got the shop in a back alley for you.
No, it was a nice, reputable shop, okay?
Okay.
And
I
then-
love you.
So then I just started flipping out, and when they were like did that, I was like, oh my gosh, they just like cost me so much money, but it's my fault. And I just cried. I called Christina. I was like, I feel like this is wrong. And Christina was like, I don't know. Ask Dad. I was like, I can't tell my dad. He'll just make fun of me. But then he actually did it, which was shocking.
I told you.
He was like, you know what? Maybe it's the car's fault and not yours. I was like,
Oh.
oh my gosh, what is this day? He's like, if you keep hitting things, it might be because you actually just can't see. Yes.
Can I add something? Didn't people hit you a lot too?
Yes.
Like in the
It was
parking
like a
lot,
magnet for
you had all
people.
these ghost dents that
It
would
was
appear.
oh my gosh, so many
People hit
dents.
her and
Yeah.
drove away. They
Yes.
didn't even leave their
Yeah.
number.
So I was like, you know what? And I'm a permission kind of person, which I wish I would have just given myself permission. But once my dad was like, you should get a new car immediately, I was like, yes, duh. I want to do that. So that was my answer in the universe. I was like, okay, I looked at my budget, not my budget, but I looked at my savings account. And I was like, okay, I can swing paying for this accident and getting a new car if I'm really on it. So then I was like, okay, I'm going to do it. So first I went and I looked at some cars. I looked at a Jeep Patriot like Lauren has, but then my brother and my dad were like, there's not enough power. And I cried because I was like, that's the car I want. It's not the right car.
It's
So
not enough
then
power for
I
what?
cried so much. No, because it's like, it's
It's
not
not.
safe. It's
Yeah.
not safe.
Oh, okay.
So then, I wanted Ford Escape. Alex told me it wasn't safe either, so I just cried and cried. I was like, never gonna find a car. I hate all cars
my
except for like boxy kind of nerdy ones that I like. So then, I went to CarMax with Callan, and we sat in every single SUV that they had. I was like, I need to make sure I can see. Like, I need to look at the other options because I don't have any options. And lo and behold, in the distance appears a Jeep Grand Cherokee, and I was like,
Wow.
Beautiful.
oh my
Bougie.
gosh. And I went over and I was like, Callum, we got to look at these, even though they're probably way too expensive. And I looked at it and I was like, wait, this isn't actually that bad. I was like, doing some calculations. I was like, I could afford this. I was like, what? So I sat in there and I was like, oh my gosh, this car is amazing. So then I went to this dealership and I drove one and I was like, I need this car. My leg automatically, like, you know, like when you're really relaxed, you're driving, your leg goes up on the seat and you're like, yeah. I was like, this is it. I could see everything. I
Her
didn't
leg
even.
just went.
Maybe that's your problem.
Yes.
That you drive
And-
with your leg
Yes,
up.
true.
So do I.
But you need never
legs
mind.
are so
Anyway,
short.
Okay.
anyway, so
I'm just
then
saying.
I drove it once again. It wasn't the right car. It was the right kind of car, but not the right car. And my dad was like, you gotta get one with a backup camera. You keep backing into things. And I was like, once again, cried again. Many tears. Lauren was there. I was
And
flipping
like,
out.
that was like the end of the day, right? Like you didn't buy it that
Yes,
day when
no,
you
I
thought you were
didn't.
going to.
I was like, could I? Is this the one? And then it wasn't. And that was so upsetting to me because I was like, I need permission and I want this car, but maybe my dad is right. So then I had to get out of my weirdness and I'd be like, you know what? I need to get the right one. So then I was just researching, and calling upon the Holy Spirit. This car is definitely sponsored in part by the Holy Spirit or all by the Holy Spirit. I prayed so much, even to when I found the right car and I was at the dealership. I was sitting in the car after I test drove and I was like, I'm buying this car. And I was like, I just need them to give me this amount for my old car. I literally smashed that car into oblivion. It was worth nothing, which is the saddest thing in my life. I was in the car. I was like, Holy Spirit, soften their hearts. Like, please let them. And they did. It worked out amazingly. Exactly perfect. I wrote down a list in my head of everything I wanted in the car, the price I wanted. I got
Wow.
everything I needed and wanted. And it was amazing. So call upon the Holy Spirit and he will help you out, dude.
Wow. PSA for the Holy Spirit.
So that's the story of me getting a new car, and I have not hit anything. I'm not even come close to hitting anything. The vibe is so much better. I
your
can
car is
see
beautiful.
the world, and I feel like a new man.
A whole
Wow.
new
Good for you.
world.
I love
So
that
that's
for you.
my life.
Still need a driving pillow though.
Oh, I do, and I have it.
What? Where's
She
your other
sits.
driving
She
pillow?
sits on a pillow
Yeah.
so she
Oh.
can see out the
Yeah.
like back or whatever.
All right, so that was Amy's current
Wow.
crisis. If you
Yes,
don't
round
know,
of applause.
Amy has had so many crises.
Very
through life.
entertaining.
So we got this segment she does. What, like I said, Sister Spotlight. It switches out time, but Amy's is always going to be whatever her current one is because she's never going to run out.
True.
So if you want more of that, you gotta, stay with the podcast. All right, guys. The next episode is available on Patreon only. So make sure you support our Patreon and you get to see the next episode. It is very spicy. You do not want to miss it. Head on over to Patreon if you want to see the other episode. You get 4 episodes a month instead of just 2 on YouTube. And you get every YouTube episode a week early on Patreon. Okay? It's amazing. Head over to Patreon, and there's way more than just the podcast on Patreon. We have a lot of cool stuff on it.
It's a cool, fun community.
You're going to love it. I love it. It's amazing. The community is also awesome. So thank you guys so much for watching
Thank
the
you.
Cimorelli podcast.
I caught Lisa in the middle.
Yeah.
Caught her
on
while
it.
she wasn't
I
expecting
was on
it.
it.
Whatever.
Wow.
Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see Patreon next, but we'll see you guys in 2
weeks.
episodes.
Thanks, readers.
Love you.
See you later. See you in the next issue.
Bye.
Bye.
You've been listening listening to the Cimorelli podcast. Follow Cimorelli on Spotify and subscribe on YouTube. You can also find Cimorelli on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and Snapchat.